Guys, hello, hi, thank you so much for tuning in. If you're new here, hello, I'm FEARSONA. You can call me Fear, you can call me Sona, and I'm your friendly neighborhood true crime VTuber, here to give you full body chills and here to tell you that Hollywood is on fire. And I mean literally on fire. Dumpster fire started from baby oil. You know what I'm talking about, but I've been seeing updates about this and holy shit. We're about to find out that some of the biggest celebrities are going to prison, maybe, allegedly. Mind you, okay, let me just preface this by saying that everything I say right now in this segment is just alleged, okay? Allegedly, everything is allegedly. Don't, Kim K, don't send me cease and desist letters. Because yeah, that's actually happening. First of all, well, Diddy's situation, he was put on like suicide watch. That's one. Because we don't want Epstein 2.0 and they better watch him because we want answers. The Diddy tape, because he apparently was recording everyone, as in his little, well, I mean little, in his like freak-offs, right? During his like freak-off parties, that's what he called it. He apparently recorded the biggest celebrities that we know of, and I mean A-listers, not Keanu Reeves. Keanu is an angel and we all love him, and you know, he is the only member of the people no one hates club. Yeah, like, so that's there's an exception there. Also, my boy Cat Williams, he needs to be protected because he knows shit. And like, if you guys, I don't know if you guys have seen the videos, but Cat Williams knew some things, and he does say that he knows a lot. And he did know a lot of things. Okay, let me just say hi to Shai. Thank you so much for 5 memberships, gifted memberships. Thank you so much. And congratulations to everyone who got the membership. Please make sure to say thank you to Shai. And Jose, thank you for being a member for 18 months. Hi, Sona. My birthday was yesterday. Congratulations. Happy birthday. I hope you had a wonderful birthday. I hope you had a wonderful day and spend it with people you love and friends, and you had a lot of fun. Okay, going back. So my boy Cat Williams has to be protected. Diddy has to be watched like 24/7, 365, cause I don't know. He can take down a lot of people because apparently he recorded A-listers during his freak-offs, doing some not so great things, and there's a lot of you know, Streisand syndrome going on, as in Usher. You know Usher, right? Like the artist singer. Usher deleted all of his posts on X, everything wiped clean. So people are like, huh, what are you trying to hide? Now it's like attention on this account. Like, he was trying to hide things. He was trying to like delete stuff. And now he just wiped his social media clean. Not great. Apparently Megan Fox also wiped her social media clean, or started deleting some posts. Well, I mean, should I start with certain singer J-Lo? Okay, I was throwing names, but this is allegations, okay? This is just alleged, nothing is confirmed, so don't send me cease and desist letters. I'm just saying what I saw on Twitter, so this might all be a lie. You know, just take that into account. And so J-Lo, yeah, like the certain, let me just call her Jennifer L, okay? So that it doesn't, you know, there might be a lot of Jennifer L's out there. So Jennifer L, also apparently her team is in constant emergency meetings, as in scrambling, talking, like having talks about certain things, discussing things. Also, Kim K, certain Kim K, I don't know, there's so many Kim Ks out there, but her team is sending cease and desist letters left and right to people, and I mean people on Twitter too, because one Twitter account that is pretty big, they've been reporting on this for quite a while, and they've been reporting on a lot of news. It's just like news account, I guess, but they received a cease and desist letter from a certain Kim K. to stop talking, to stop publishing videos about her involvement in the Diddy case. And there was a video that came out of this certain particular Kim K visiting Diddy Mansion. Why did you visit Diddy Mansion if you're not involved? Why are you going there if you have nothing to do with it? Why, if this is defamation, why are you, why did you show up there? Okay, so there's a lot going on, and I'm like, this week is just crazy. First of all, well, the case that we're gonna be talking about, like, it happened, the trial happened this week, and it concluded this week, and it was crazy too, so, like, I'm gonna talk about it, but I just wanted to bring this up, because holy bejesus. And we're gonna actually talk about the Diddy case. Like, I wanna talk about it this week because there's another thing. So basically, I'm just gonna, I'll just kind of like put it in, like summarize it for you. Obviously, like when we talk about the case, there's gonna be more details, but well, I might receive cease and desist letters. But okay, so there is this one aspect of the case. Diddy's wife, Kim Porter, well, ex-wife, late wife. You know where this is going. So, okay, so she was married to Diddy, right? She gave birth to his children, right? Like, she had children with him. And then apparently, well, the whole situation with the freak-offs happened. Apparently, she discovered tapes. This is also allegedly. Allegedly, she discovered tapes. And I mean, the videos, audio recordings of, those celebrities, Diddy with young boys. This is alleged. Again, I'm just like covering all my bases because like I don't wanna. Everything is alleged. Okay, I'm just seeing these things on the internet, and I'm like, okay, what the fuck is happening? But yes, so allegedly she discovered videos. She tapes, Scotch tape with certain, with her husband, and boys that are not of legal age, and different celebrities with children that are not of legal age. And she apparently made copies of these videos for protection. She was planning to leave Diddy, like according to her friends, well, allegedly, according to her friends, she was planning to leave him, and she was using these tapes as in like, she made copies of these tapes as a form of protection, right, from him. Well, she died. She died mysteriously at the age of 47. Let that sink in. 47 of pneumonia. How many people, 47 years old people, do you know that died of pneumonia? Because, I mean, and that's before certain pandemonium. That is before this. And these friends, the closest friends to her, on that day, allegedly said that on that day, the day she died, she apparently, the last words that she said to them or one of the last things that she said to them were, "He got me." So, that is getting insane. What is happening? What is going on? Oh my God. Another thing about this case. Well, I mean, another thing about this incident, and like what was very, very strange about this incident and this day was that Kris J's, let me just say that, Kris J's boyfriend randomly showed up at Kim Porter's house. Why are you there? I mean, we know, like, it is known that Kris J was involved with Diddy, and like her boyfriend was involved with Diddy. And randomly he shows up at Kim Porter's house when she's dying, when she's like, she's on her deathbed, basically. Very random. I mean, allegedly. Everything allegedly. Take it with a grain of salt. I am gonna be talking about it sometime this week, but Twitter is on fire. Internet is on fire. Everything's on fire. Hollywood is like scrambling. Something big is gonna happen. I'm gonna, you guys, like, just wait around for, stay tuned up for any updates, because wow, very suspicious. Everything about this is suspicious, and I swear to God, someone needs to like protect Cat Williams, because he, maybe I shouldn't be saying that because like I'm bringing attention to it, but someone needs to protect my boy. He knows shit. He knows a lot of things. So I hope he's covered. I hope he's like protected at all times, 24/7, every single minute someone's watching him, because wow. I swear to God, if we hear about like suspicious deaths of different celebrities or suspicious death of Diddy suddenly, breaking news, you know, like Diddy died, or oh, breaking news, this celebrity or that celebrity died in, oh no, a freak accident, or oh no, like mysterious, oh, unexplained, or oh, no reason has been given, which we know what it means. Well, I think people are gonna be upset. I think something big is gonna happen. I think people will just like rage because there will be like, there is no way. There is no way. There is about to, like, this thing is about to blow up. A lot of influential people are about to get exposed for very questionable things. And yeah. Yeah, well, that's it. That's all the breaking news that I wanted to, share with you guys. And now we can move on to the case. Wait. Okay, so another case. You know that saying children are the future? Well, in some cases they are future criminals and future prisoners. And this is one such case. Also, Kronos, member of for 19 months, thank you so much. Hey, Fear and chat, sorry for being MIA. No worries, Kronos, I understand. Life happens. As long as you guys can enjoy videos, please enjoy my videos. Even if you can't make it live to the stream, it's completely fine. I understand. Thank you so much for supporting the channel in any way that you can. But yeah, hello, I'm FEARSONA. Let me just promote myself, FEARSONA. Your friendly neighborhood true crime VTuber, here to make you question reality and have nightmares and have full body chills, and you know, because sharing is caring, and I have full body chills every single day when I see these news, and you know, I watch these scary videos and scary cases. You know, just perpetual full body chills, perpetual nightmares. Who needs dreams? Who needs to pursue their dreams when they can have nightmares every night? How is everyone doing? Hey, we're good, right? Internet is on fire, Hollywood is on fire, the world is on fire. What not to like? Like literal fire, as in like temperatures are rising because of the climate change. Joshua, thank you so much for the super. Should I fear my kid coming to get me? Oh no. Well, I mean, I hope not. Honestly, I do not wish this upon anyone. This is a case of a very troubled teenager. It's very murky. I'm gonna say this, I'm gonna preface this by saying that I don't know if I agree completely with the sentence in this case. So this trial happened just last week. Well, the case itself, or the crime, happened in March of this year. So very, very fresh case. Apparently everything is going to shit. Yeah, everything. The world is going, you know, the world is covered in baby oil and set ablaze. God, I shouldn't be joking about this, but I can't. This is how when I'm uncomfortable, I joke. You know, I make jokes when I'm uncomfortable. Also, mind you, like I just quoted Chandler from Friends. Speaking of that, the doctors, Matthew Perry's doctor, because you know that he passed away in a very weird way, in a very weird situation. Yes, a couple of his doctors and doctors from his like drug rehab center in Switzerland are being sued for causing his death. Basically, his assistant is being sued for manslaughter. I don't know. I don't actually know the charges that well, but like I don't know specific charges, but they are being investigated and possibly charged with the causing his death. One, because they fed him, literally there are some text messages between his doctors from the rehab, or just in general his doctors, right? Like there are some messages, emails, or calls that reveal that they've been unnecessarily prescribing him with ketamine, and that is horrible. That is, honestly, I was I mean, I was heartbroken because Chandler was my favorite character, favorite actor. Well, I mean, you know, Matthew Perry was a great actor too. I really loved him. And, you know, Chandler was I think close to a lot of people's hearts. You know, like I loved Friends. And yeah, like I was honestly, yes, I was heartbroken when it came out that he passed away, but you know, like it was deemed an accident. It was deemed like, oh, very unfortunate accident, like his death. But this just enraged me. The fact that it came out that it wasn't, like, yes, it was an accident, like his death was ultimately an accident, but it was caused by the medication that his assistant was buying him. His doctors were prescribing him with a dose that was way too high for someone who was trying to get out of an addiction. And that is horrible because that was his thing for the past few years. He was trying to get out of this horrible addiction. He wrote a book, you know, about it. He was trying to help people too, because he was like, I think he was running programs for like people you know, addicts, just kind of rehabs. But then like his doctors literally, so I was saying, yeah, like it was preventable. Yeah, it was absolutely preventable. Yeah. So a question, how is Keanu Reeves roped into this? Oh no, he's not. I'm just saying like Keanu Reeves is an angel, you know, he's a national treasure. So he's not. He's absolutely not. To protect my boy, because he's not. He's a national treasure too. Damn, that's rough. I can't believe ketamine is still used. It used to be for like surgery. Now it's something used for anxiety. Yeah, exactly. Like, I mean, and the doctors were prescribing him with a dose that was like way higher. Definitely not responsible dose. And it's addictive. And as I said, like there were messages between like his doctors, someone else, like I think like their doctors, one of which was nicknamed ketamine queen. Like what are you? This is like one of those doctors that prescribe OxyContin, like left and right. Like you can just pay them and they will get you a prescription. Like pay them under the table and they will get you a prescription for Oxy. Like what is going on? Yeah, like one of the doctors was called, like nicknamed in like on the streets like ketamine queen. What the yeah, so anyway, as I said, like there were some messages that came out where the doctors were kind of laughing. This is so infuriating. This is heartbreaking, but doctors were kind of laughing about it. They were saying like, "Oh, I wonder how much this guy is willing to pay us." You know, that kind of thing. Like, oh, how much this, whatever, XYZ, I think they were insulting him. Like, how much he is willing to pay for, you know, ketamine or these meds that they were prescribing him a dose that is gonna make him addicted. And this was made, like, okay, Joshua, thank you so much for this. Persona is right. We need to protect Shadow the Hedgehog. Yes, absolutely. But yeah, ketamine, you know, in a certain dose, like it is highly addictive, and it's just so sad that he was trying, you know, Matthew Perry was trying to get out of addiction. He was like, that was his life. That was like, he was all about that. Like, oh, I don't want to be that person, you know, like I want to get out of this. I want to get clean. And he was getting treatment that was like, oh, the expensive rehab in Switzerland or something. And that's how it ended. They just tricked him. And that is absolutely sad because ketamine literally caused his death. So now, yeah, doctors are on trial, and I mean, you know, they are charged. I think the trial hasn't happened yet, but it's gonna happen soon, possibly this year. So I'm gonna be keeping my eyes and ears, you know, open on this case. Okay, I think it's time. I think we can. FEARSONA, the game was rigged from the start. I don't know, like it's just. When I talk about this, when I read about this case, when I read about what's happening around Matthew Perry's death, like I feel this like my stomach just squeezing. I don't know, like do you know what I mean? Like it's just, yeah, it's horrible. Okay, as for today's case, let's jump right into it. So today we're delving into a heroin case from Mississippi. one that has captured national attention and international attention in recent weeks, because as I said, it literally happened in March, like at the end of March, and then trial happened in the past few days. And it took media by storm. It took this social media, the media by storm. The case of Carly Madison Gregg. You've probably seen her image somewhere. You've probably seen this one video that's circulating where it's like a comparison of her giggling in court, and then Thursday giggling in court, and then Friday, crying because she got a pretty harsh sentence, which I'm not 100% sure if I agree with it, but that is what the court determined. I'm pretty sure they can appeal. But we'll see. I'm gonna let you be the judge of that. You know, you guys can have your own opinion, right? Like, you can share your opinion with me in the chat, like if you agree or you don't agree. Listen, Carly is 14. Well, now she's 15, but at the time of the crime, she was still 14. A 14-year-old girl who murdered her mother in cold blood and then attempted to murder her stepfather and tampered with the evidence. So let's take a closer look. On March 19th, 2024, this was just another day. Just like, you know, they all are in many of the cases that I cover. But it wasn't just another day for the Gregg family. A tragedy unfolded inside their home on Ashton Way in Brandon, Mississippi. 14-year-old Carly Gregg 14-year-old Carly Gregg fatally shot her mother, Ashley Smiley, and attempted to kill her stepfather, Heath Smiley, in what would later be described as a crime driven by a combination of mental illness and personal emotions. Ashley Smiley, 40 years old, was found lying on her back in Carly's bedroom with a bullet in her head, a blood-soaked towel draped over her face. But that's not all. After killing her mother, Carly shot her stepfather, Heath, with a .357 Magnum, seriously wounding him. She was trying to shoot him 3 times, but she managed to shoot him once. And here, let's take a step back and try to make sense of what happened in that house that day and what led to these horrifying events to begin with. Let me just drink some water because my throat is, as per usual, a toaster. When I get too excited about like some news and I start screaming into my microphone and my voice just decides, no, we are very crispy today. We are very, very crispy. We are raspy today. Okay. And apologies if I'm gonna have to like clear my throat every once in a while. Father's last name, Smiley. Like Ashley Smiley, right? Like it's spelled, you know, it's pronounced as Smiley, but it's spelled as Myle-Lie. So Heath and Ashley Smiley. Okay. So on the surface, Carly was just your regular teenager. She was a sophomore at Northwest Rankin High School and seemed like a typical student, or actually not like typical teenager, but a pretty good student. She was an honor student, known to be bright and well loved by her family. She'd been recognized as Student of the Month and even Student of the Year at one point. Carly had no record of behavioral issues or trouble with the law, and specifically trouble with the law. You know, like she didn't have any particular issues up until a point. But as the details of the case unraveled, it became very clear that beneath this, you know, like typical exterior was a young girl struggling with her inner emotions, with her inner issues and demons and secrets she kept hidden from her family. Ashley, on the other hand, Carly's mother, was a math teacher at Northwest Rankin High, so the same high school where Carly went to, right? Ashley was actually well liked by her students. She was described as kind and compassionate, qualities that really stand out in high school teachers. She even earned the New Teacher of the Year award in 2022, which everyone agreed she very much deserved. And it was just a normal day on March 19th. Carly attended school as usual, and that morning, a confrontation apparently between Carly and her classmate raised alarm bells. Worried about Carly's erratic behavior and secretive actions, like Carly apparently, like the friend discovered that Carly was smoking marijuana. She was, you know, high basically at school, and she also had like carried several like burner phones. It was so strange. She had burner phones, and she was hiding, obviously hiding from her family. She also was vaping. She had a lot of vapes on her, and she was just bringing them to school. So one of her friends was very concerned, especially when they discovered that day that she was high on marijuana that day, right? So one of her friends, you know, was very concerned. That's what they argued about, and then the same friend felt compelled to inform Ashley, so Carly's mother, about it, because they were worried about Carly. They were just like, what is happening? Like, she's suddenly, you know, like she's never done this before, and now she's doing these shady things, like vaping at school and taking marijuana at school, and yeah, like using all those burner phones. Like, what is going on? So yes, this friend informed Carly's mom, Ashley, about the behavior, right? And by the end of the school day, Ashley Smiley had learned of her daughter's secret life, and she was absolutely not happy. Later that afternoon, around 4 p.m., when they returned home, Carly immediately let their 2 golden retriever dogs out, and Carly herself stayed outside with them, like right outside of the house. So there's a surveillance video footage from inside of the house, because they have this like motion sensor camera for the dogs. So we can see, like in that video at the beginning, there's Carly's mother, right? Ashley walks in, Carly walks in behind her, and she lets out the dogs, and Carly just goes outside with the dogs. Meanwhile, Ashley is at home, right? Like she's inside the house, and she just goes kind of like behind the wall, like she goes to another room, right? So Ashley went straight to Carly's room. What happened next would forever change their lives. According to investigators, Ashley discovered vape pens hidden in Carly's room, and I don't mean like one vape pen or maybe like 2, but 4 boxes of vape pens. I don't know how many pens specifically were in those boxes, but 4 full boxes of. So that apparently that was like an alarming amount. I mean, it's believed that 4 boxes of vape pens. There was a lot of them apparently. I'm not sure like how many exactly, but there was a significant amount. Please let the doggos be okay. Don't worry, the doggos were okay. Dogs were fine. They were just confused. They were, obviously a little confused by what happened. Maybe scared, maybe like freaked out by the loud sounds, but the doggos were fine. Okay. Boxes. That's an excessive amount of vapes. Absolutely. Well, for one vape is an excessive amount for a 14-year-old. So, yeah. But yes, there was a lot of it. So it is believed that Ashley then took these boxes to her bedroom, right? Like the parents' bedroom. And she goes back to Carly's room to search for more suspicious things. Vapes, maybe some of the burner phones, because, right, like that's what she heard of. Like that Carly had some burner phones. She wants to know, right? Ashley wants to know what in the world is happening. Why is her 14-year-old daughter hiding all those things from her? And yeah, like vaping and, like smoking marijuana. So she wants to No, she wants to find everything. This is when Carly walks back inside and walks carefully to the living room, checks it out left and right, most likely to start in search for her mother, right? Like to determine where is Ashley, where is Ashley right now. So let me play that first video of Carly checking out their house. So in this video, you actually can see, you know, captured by this home surveillance camera, you can tell that Carly is preparing for something. Like she is checking out, scouting the house, checking out like where the mom is. She's kind of like walking very quietly and, you know, trying to see like, okay, where is mom? Is she in my room? Is she in the master bedroom? So after confirming that Ashley is in, I guess, her room, I'm not 100% sure if Ashley was currently, I think she was in Carly's room, right? So Ashley was in Carly's room and Carly walks kind of like, first she walks to another room, which like is determined to be the parents' room. So she walks to the master bedroom and retrieves that Magnum revolver from under her parents' mattress. And then she walks back to the other room where Ashley is, and well, things happen from there. So I'm gonna play this. It's actually in this video, mind you, this video doesn't have that one section where the shots can be heard, so it kind of jumps. But let's take a look. And you can see that she's hiding something behind her back so that the camera doesn't capture it. Yeah, this is where it jumped. I think this is where it jumped. Yeah, and Carly came back, right? She's still hiding something behind her back, and then she just like puts it on the counter and grabs her phone. This is actually the moment, so basically in this video, that's the moment when Carly walked into the room where Ashley was and fired 3 shots. That part was cut out. She fired 3 shots at close range, killing her mother pretty much instantly, where she falls to the ground, right? Like she's bleeding, she was shot in the face. In the video footage, you can hear, well, I mean, well, you couldn't, like in the full video footage, like if you watch it, I don't know, I just couldn't, I didn't want to get that one because I think YouTube might just ban the stream or take it down, or I don't know, demonetize it, whatever. But you know what, I don't care. But yeah, I, you know, cut out that part. But there's this part where Carly shoots her mom 3 times. You can hear the shots and you can hear Ashley screaming in like after the first shot. So she's screaming out in pain, shock, fear, all of those things. But her voice quickly goes quiet, and just as 3 shots are fired, right? Like there's a thumb, or thud, I guess, thud, and she possibly falls to the ground. You can see the family dogs reacting to the noise, like they are kind of alert, and they are clearly concerned, like what's happening, or excited. They just don't know what's happening, right? And then Carly moves back to the kitchen. As you saw in the video, she moves back to the kitchen, hiding the gun behind her back. She puts it on the counter behind her so that the camera doesn't capture it. And she quickly takes a seat on the nearby chair and pulls out her phone, which later it is revealed that she sends a series of text messages to one of her friends saying that this is an emergency, it's an emergency, but basically trying to get her friend to come over to the house at first like refusing, but she was still refusing to explain exactly what was happening. The friend was actually asking like, hey, what's happening? What is the emergency? Like, how can I help you? You know, like, what can I do? And she was just like, no, it's an emergency. Come over. So she wouldn't explain like what's going on. She just, you know, she was just asking the friend like very insistently to come over. In the meantime, there's another cryptic sound coming from the other room in the house, the room where Ashley is. And honestly, I don't know. I have this video. I don't know what the sound is. I want to believe that it's the dog, like one of the dogs or something. But on the other hand, some people say that it might still be Ashley. Like she might still be alive and crying out in pain. Like this is the last kind of sound that comes from her. And Carly, in that video, Carly immediately stands up and grabs something from the counter. Like she grabs the weapon from the counter. She still hides it behind her back. And, you know, most likely this is the weapon, and heads over in the direction of the room where Ashley was left. So let me play that video. Okay, so after this, there are more sounds coming from the other room. Like none of them are what I assume to be Ashley's cries. Like she doesn't make a sound anymore. Right, but like I think that weird sound was actually Ashley, because the dogs were, I thought at the beginning, I initially thought like, oh, maybe it was one of the dogs, like one of the dogs just went there and was howling or something. But both dogs are in the kitchen with Carly, so it couldn't have been. So I think that was still Ashley. But it's safe to assume that she is dead by this point. Like when Carly goes there, that part was also cut off, but she you know, there's more sounds, there's like more thuds, or you know, some weird sounds that are undetermined. And I think it was maybe maybe Carly. I'm not sure, like it doesn't seem like she shot her again. It just seems like she maybe put that towel over, like draped the towel over her face, and maybe was trying to like make sure that she's dead. But that was the video. That was the end of that video. And let's go back to those messages that Carly sent to her friend. So the friend eventually arrived. Like the friend actually got super concerned, so she was like, okay, well, I'm gonna this friend was like, okay, I actually don't know if it was a girl or a guy, but yeah, like their friend actually arrived and was unaware of the tragedy awaiting at Carly's house. Carly greeted this friend at the door with a chilling question. She asked the friend, have you ever seen a dead body? That's it. That's creepy. Not creepy at all. But she asked the friend at the door, basically, have you ever seen a dead body? And then she leads this friend inside to that room to see her mother's dead body. I mean, the friend was terrified. The friend was confused, like, what do I do? Carly confessed to that friend, saying, quote, I put 3 in my mom and I have 3 more waiting for my stepdad. So Carly then instructed her friend to go outside to the backyard because Heath, so the stepdad, is about to arrive home. So she didn't want the friend to be inside the house. I mean, the friend was just like, didn't have to be told twice. She, like, this friend was terrified and didn't know what else to do. They were worried that Carly might still have that weapon and she might pull the gun out and shoot at them if they decide to call the police, if they decide to disagree or say something. and start calling 911. You know, like the friend was also scared that, hey, Carly might actually attack me. I'm gonna go. I don't know what to do. I don't think there are any circumstances where the question, have you ever seen a dead body, will ever lead to anything good. Absolutely. I don't know. Like, I mean, the friend was just, I guess it didn't register in their head because they're like, this is not happening, right? That's not real. Like, okay, the Carly just, haha, very funny, you know, like maybe a dark, like some sort of dark humor, dark joke. Okay, I don't think anyone would see, like, put yourself in this situation. Like, your best friend, or your friend, your best friend, tells you, right, like, invites you to their house or tells you to come over because it's an emergency, and then they say something like that. I don't think my mind would register. I don't think my mind would treat this situation as real. I would be like, yeah, sure, like, what's happening? Like, there's no, okay, you're acting weird, but I'm gonna take this as some kind of a joke. Or maybe like, oh, I don't know, dead butterfly, dead spider, you know, that kind of thing. I would be very confused. But then later I would be terrified, and I would probably do the same as the friend. So like leave the house and then call the authorities. Like, I wouldn't be inside the house with Carly when I call 911, because that's yeah, it's she isn't well, she isn't stable, and I don't want to be around her when I'm calling the authorities because I don't want to be shot. Okay, if my friend called me up, said it was an emergency, and then I get the ever seen a dead body, I'm leaving. I would be scared. I would be the next dead body. Yeah, exactly, right? I think that's everyone. I think that's all of us. Like, we would be like, okay, what the fuck? I'm gonna leave. Okay, you know, leave you to it, and I'm gonna go, and, you know, immediately call the police so that, especially since she told the friend that, hey, my stepfather is gonna be here and I have 3 more shots for him. I'll be like, okay, you do you. Let me just retreat outside of the house and be on my phone. Totally not suspicious, totally not calling the police, but, you know, you do you, I'm gonna do me. Don't even show up, just call emergency. Yeah, right, like, I would be like, hey, if this is an emergency, like, yeah, then let's call 911. Or I would already call from my house, like, call 911, tell them the address, be like, okay, my friend seems distressed, I don't know what this is about, can you please come over because I'm scared. You know, like, if this is an emergency, I think we need police, I think we need an ambulance. Like, I don't know, like, it's the friend sounded very concerned. Yeah, and then, yeah, and tell that the friend is acting strange. Absolutely, I agree. I would probably call from my house, because I'd be like, okay, this is an emergency, like, what's going on? Okay, let me, even if it's nothing, you know, even if it's at the end it ends up being nothing, it's better to, if the situation seems serious, it's better to have that that like, I don't know, security blanket, like, oh, just please send like a police officer, 1 or 2 police officers to like check on her, because I don't know, I'm scared to go there, like, I don't know what to do in this situation, you know, like, at least for a welfare check sort of thing. You know, asking why a 14-year-old kid would murder his mom, it's just maybe she was probably abused or something. Yeah, but it doesn't seem so, like, that's the thing, she wasn't like, in this case, just completely normal family. I mean, at least that's what it seems like. During the trial, nothing else came out, nothing else that indicated any form of abuse, but I'm gonna get to that. Okay, so Carly instructs her friend to go outside because her stepdad is about to arrive, and, you know, she has plans for this stepdad, right? So the friend, obviously scared, goes outside. And then at this point, it's 5:03 p.m. when Heath Smiley arrives home. As he got out of his pickup truck and entered the house, he was met with the sight of his wife dead on the floor. So according to Heath, turning around, he saw, like, he entered the house, he entered the room, right? Like, he saw the body, and then when he turned around, he saw Carly standing in the kitchen holding the gun, her eyes wide, almost in shock, and he said it looked like she had seen something evil. Without a word, Carly allegedly fired 3 shots at Heath two missed, two of those shots missed, and one struck him in the shoulder. Okay, so Heath managed to wrestle the gun away from Carly, who then fled the house by jumping over the backyard fence. And I do have that video, so let's watch that video. Like, when he arrives, this is from Law and Crime, so credits to Law and Crime, but this is the moment when Heath arrives. Right, this is 5:03. Yeah, and you can hear the screams. And he calls after her. He calls Carly. And then you can see her jumping over the fence. This is her climbing, like you can see it. Yeah. So she runs away. And then this is the friend, I think. So I'm not 100% sure. Like here, I'm not 100% sure. Some reports say that this was the friend that climbed over the fence with Carly and just ran away. Some other say that, oh, it was a neighbor that climbed over the fence and was chasing after Carly. But yeah, like I guess I would believe that it's the friend. So despite the injury, Heath managed to call 911, staying on the line until police arrived. And in court, the jury heard Heath's desperate 911 call, during which he told the operator that his stepdaughter had shot him and killed his wife. The recording captured the like emotions, like how scared he was, how shocked he was, and he was just like in that call, and in like when the police responded, he was just still coming to terms with what he just witnessed. By the time law enforcement arrived, Carly had fled the scene, as you saw in the video. Body cam footage from one of the officers shows Heath collapsing at the door. He basically opens the door and he just falls. Like, that's it. He managed to open the door. He's still like on the line with 911 and he just falls. And he's exhausted from this incident. Then he still manages to tell the officers that his stepdaughter was responsible for the carnage. And I'm gonna show you that video, like a fragment of that video. Yeah, so this is the moment when police arrives. That's the moment when they arrive, and he opens the door.
Sheriff's office! Hey, come outside for a minute. Hey, come here. Tell me what your son's wearing. Hey, I need you to talk to me. What is your son wearing?
He was in jeans and a grayish t-shirt. She's got short, brownish hair.
So, jeans, a gray t-shirt, short brown hair.
She ran into the backyard and I tried to follow her. She jumped the fence and ran. She shot me in the neck.
Yeah, she shot him in the back.
Still have the gun?
It's on the kitchen counter. I think there's one light round left in it. I opened the cylinder. I went in the back door. She tried to shoot me.
Yeah, so that's basically, I mean, there's more of that. Obviously, like, police interviews him as Heath is on the ground, and first, right, like the medical responders are there, medical services are there to treat him, but it is absolutely horrible. Like, he is telling the officers, like, just, you know, like, she shot my wife is dead, and she was trying to shoot me. So while officers were, you know, piecing together what had happened, it became clear that Carly had shot both her mother and her stepfather. Heath later recounted that Carly seemed terrified, as if she had seen a demon, and initially he thought that someone else might have been in the house. And it was honestly, like, if you're interested, like, you can watch the whole trial. Like, there's videos, there's live streams or live stream recordings on the Law and Crime channel, I believe, because this video was from Law and Crime, but the full trial was streamed or broadcasted on their channel. And his testimony, like, honestly, it was pretty heartbreaking, because despite the fact that Carly killed Ashley and was planning to kill him, Heath, right, the stepfather, he was still very concerned for her. He was still saying, like, hey, I thought that someone was in the house. I thought that there was an intruder. I was checking if Carly was okay. I was asking her. I was scouting the house. Like, I was trying to scout the house. I was about to, right? Like, oh, I was looking around for, like, my first thought was like, oh, she grabbed the gun as protection from someone. But yeah, unfortunately, this is, yeah, that's not what it was. It was Carly all along. Okay, so it didn't take long for the police officers to find and arrest Carly. About 30 minutes after she fled, Carly was located by police roughly half a mile from the house. And in the body cam footage from one of the officers, we see him pulling up to the Gregg house and open the car's back door, where Carly is seated, still wearing the same dark blue / gray Nirvana t-shirts. She's also handcuffed, and I'm gonna play that video. So in the video, Carly appears to be scared, but she's cooperative. When another officer appears to be testing her hands for gunshot residue. So we're gonna watch that video now. I think this is... Oh, that's it.
Handcuffed. All right, sweetie. Look. Let me step out real quick for me. All right. Hey, so what I'm gonna do is I'm gonna move them around to the front of you, okay? I'm gonna move the handcuffs around to the front of you. Okay. All right. All right. So what we're gonna do here is we're gonna swab your hands, okay?
Yeah.
Right. Now, I'll ask you a bunch of questions, but obviously you fired with a pistol, correct?
Yes, sir.
Okay.
Alright, look. I need you to hold your hand out like this. I'm gonna do your right hand first, okay? Just your right hand. Keep it like that.
Swab up here.
What is this?
It's a GSR. It's
gunshot residue.
Which hand did you shoot with?
Okay.
Which hand did you shoot with?
Yeah, so she, she's cooperative. She appears to be like scared or...
Go up.
Flop the hand, turn the hand over.
Turn it over.
Rub on the
Well, actually not
outside
scared.
corner.
Like, actually not that scared. She's just cooperating.
Where do you want his phone?
I guess you can put it in my vehicle with my key. The key fob is in my left pocket.
All right, now so go ahead and take. All right.
Is my stepdad okay?
I don't know, baby. I can't talk to you
Oh,
about
he's
this.
here. I understand.
Are you okay?
Yeah, I'm fine.
Yeah, so as you can see, like, another officer, as you notice, like, Carly asks one of the officers if her stepdad is okay, but the officer can't answer that question. Obviously, he says, like, I don't know, I can't really talk to you about that, and are you okay? And she says, like, yeah, I'm okay. So, like, it seems like at first, in that first initial picture, like, initial screenshot, she appears to be kind of like, oh, she looks a little scared, but then she's just cooperating, and she's like, yeah, I'm okay. A lot of people are questioning, like, oh, that particular question about like her stepdad, like, oh, is her stepdad okay, or is my stepdad okay? It wasn't out of, like, some people say like, oh, this wasn't about concern, like this wasn't a sign of concern for stepdad. It was kind of like to confirm if he's dead or not. She was trying to know, like trying to find out if she succeeded, but that's allegedly, you know, like there's no proof. I'm just thinking out loud too. Is it just me, or her hands, do her hand look huge? No, I don't know if it's really like that her hands are huge, or if it's just camera, because it's body cam. Maybe like it's distorting the like image a little bit. Well, if it's her mom and stepdad, what about her biological dad? Does he show up or not? I don't think he's in the picture. I'm not sure. I don't have the information if the father is, maybe he's passed away, or he's just not involved in the picture. There was no information about her biological father. It's just her mom and her stepdad. Okay, I mean, in this video, she looks like a child. That she is. She's 14, and she just did something absolutely horrible. But it's just hard to believe it when you look at this footage. Like, only at this footage, you know? Like, it's hard to believe that she's a cold-blooded murderer. So at first, Carly was taken to a juvenile detention center, but soon the decision was made to charge her as an adult because of her actions, and because of her actions after post you know, crime, when she, you know, texted her friend and she was asking them like, have you ever seen a dead body? You know, like, it was just kind of signs of the fact that she knew what she was doing. She now faces charges of murder for her mother's death and attempted murder for the attack on her stepdad. And she was placed, or she pleaded not guilty, with her bond set at a staggering $1 million. Things moved quickly from there. They moved to trial. In May 2024, Carly's defense team requested that cameras be kept out of the courtroom, fearing that media coverage could prevent her from receiving a fair trial. However, the judge did not immediately grant that request, citing procedural issues with the filing. There's also the matter of Carly's I'm thinking about the biological father. There's also the matter of Carly's psychological state. Her defense has argued that, you know, like, she needs a full psychiatric evaluation, and the court approved it. So that was conducted, a full psychiatrical evaluation of her state. As the case went to trial, the prosecution painted a picture of a cold, calculating killer. They alleged that Carly was furious after her mother discovered her secrets, her secret phones, her, you know, like her vapes, and she took this like drastic, deadly action to avoid facing the consequences. But it was so weird, right? Like, this is not a reason to immediately jump to a gun. That's what the defense argued. Like, what? Okay, like, she's a cold-blooded killer. Like, she was planning all of this. Like, what was her plan exactly? Like, because her mom discovered all those burner phones and all those vapes and marijuana, like, that's what she wanted to do. That was her solution to avoid consequences. Like, what was the plan exactly? Like, this is not a plan of someone who is in the right mind. So it was also revealed that after murdering her mother, Carly had also taken her phone. As I said, like, well, I mean, no. Okay, so she texted her friend, right? But it was later revealed that she had taken her mother's phone and sent a text to her stepdad, pretending to be Ashley and trying to lure him back into coming home. The text message read, "When will you be home, honey?" End quote. So she actually sent this message to the dad. The prosecutors were set to prove that Carly acted with premeditation. I mean, it seems so. Yeah, like, it very much seems so. So Carly acted with premeditation. that her actions were too swift, too smooth to be called a crime of passion, or at least like a last minute plan. You know, that's what they were arguing. Like, hey, this is not, she knew what she was doing. Like, she was, you know, she knew where the gun was. First of all, like, oh, she had to scout the house to discover where the gun is. Right? So like, oh, this was a gun, like her family gun. They had a license for that, right? Like the stepdad and stepmom. Stepdad and mom, right? Like that was a legal weapon. And she knew that it was under her parents' mattress. So that's one. 2, she was like sending those messages to her friend. 3, she sent a message to her stepdad from her mom's phone to get him to come back to the house. But in all of this, I'm like, but what was your exit plan? What is the exit plan here? What is the end game here? Because you're trying, like, what is the point? Like, okay, so you're killing your mom and your stepdad because they discovered, or like your mom discovered your stash of vapes to avoid consequences. But then like you do realize that you're not gonna avoid consequence. Like you're, you know, and also like there's a camera in the house, and you know that there's a camera in the house. You know that there's a camera for, I guess like it's a security camera / dog's camera, right? Like motion, like triggered camera. So like, you know that there's a camera there, and you know, like it's all on tape. It's not that deep, bro. I mean, yeah, but like, right? Like it's just, I don't know. I'm like, what is your, like, is it a, you know, a plan crafted by a, you know, mentally stable person? No, I don't think so. Not entirely, no. Okay, so defense attorneys Bridget Todd and Kevin Camp painted a much more complex picture of Carly. They argued that she was suffering from a severe mental health crisis. Carly had no prior history of violence, and her attorneys pointed to her deteriorating mental state in the days and weeks leading up to the shootings. They introduced Carly's journal entries, diary, which spoke of hearing voices and having psychotic breaks. And I think it was also tied to her taking marijuana. So she may have been, you know, well, that day she was also like apparently under the influence of marijuana. So, you know, well, there's that. And one of her attorneys argued that, quote, Carly's close friends who saw her at school every day were not aware that Carly was suffering from a mental illness, because it's hard to look at a person and understand that they have a mental illness. That's why it's often referred to as the invisible disease, end quote. Then Dr. Andrew Clark, so there was, right, like we had a psych evaluation of Carly's, how many shots fired? Well, mom 3 and stepdad also 3, but 1 hit him. So 6 shots in total. Okay, so then we have the psych evaluation, right? Dr. Andrew Clark, a child psychiatrist, testified about Carly's long history of depression, anxiety, and even trauma stemming from the death of her sister, I guess, when Carly was just 4 years old. So there was some underlying issues. According to Dr. Clark, Carly had begun to self-harm at the age of 11 or 12, making superficial cuts to cope with her emotional pain and emotional issues, right? A journal entry dated just a week before the shooting suggested that Carly felt she had spoken to one of the voices in her head. That's what the journal entry was indicating. Dr. Clark also noted that Carly had been on psychiatric medication and had recently switched from Zoloft to Lexapro, which he believed contributed to her state of mind during the crime. And it was like, oh, possibly mixed with marijuana, just had that kind of psychotic effect, right? Like, oh, it was a side effect. Like she did not act in her completely like right mind. And I mean, it seems to be legit. Yet the prosecution didn't really buy it. There were some like prosecution's witnesses, including psychiatric nurse Olivia Lieber and therapist Rebecca Kirk, so she's the therapist, they testified that Carly had repeatedly denied hearing voices or experiencing delusions. So who was Carly Gregg on the night of March 19th? Was she a calculating murderer, or was she a troubled teen desperate for help? Like, was she having a psychotic episode, or was she just planning this murder out of her own will and nothing else? So while no clear motive has been identified yet, speculation is rampant. I mean, there are rumors that Carly may have been troubled, or that her mother had taken away her cell phone. Like, you know, like just the mother in the weeks leading up to the murder, like she was being very hard on Carly and she contributed to her rage. Another factor could be her prescription medications. So as I said, like as Dr. Clark said, Carly had been on Lexapro, which is an antidepressant, but she was switched to a different medication. Like she was on Zoloft and then she was switched to Lexapro. So she was switched to this one like just a week before the incident. And the role of these medications, sorry, let me just hide it. Okay, so the role of these medications is still under investigation. So that's not completely done, I guess. But then in the trial, like, oh, they've already sentenced her, so I guess they're saving some of that investigation. It's still ongoing. They're saving it for appeal, ? So some people, right, like the defense believes that they may have played a part in the tragic events, but I guess in the initial trial it just wasn't determined as a contributing factor. Despite the defense's argument, the evidence presented by the prosecution was pretty damning. Testimony from Carly's friends and the, psych evidence, not psych evidence, physical evidence let little doubt that the crime was deliberate and, it was Carly because she's on video, right? Like there was no one else. But the defense insisted that Carly had been a victim of her own mental illness, emphasizing that she had no prior criminal history and had been an exceptionally bright student up until this point. Heath Smiley, Carly's stepfather, and a man who nearly lost his life that day, took the stand to testify against her. Yet, despite everything, as I mentioned before, Heath remains one of Carly's defenders. Like at the end of the day, he described Carly as a sweet little girl, and he admitted that even after being shot by her, he isn't afraid of her. He is still concerned for her. Heath wasn't just a victim, he was a father figure to Carly. He searched the house for an intruder, believing that at first that someone else must have been responsible for the tragedy. He did not believe that it was Carly. To the last moment, he was just like, nope, no, it must have been someone else. I'm gonna, like she's scared. I'm gonna protect her. I'm gonna look for the actual intruder. And even in court, he's just like, he was saying things like, like she's a sweet person. She's not capable of something so horrifying. Like something must have happened. Like I don't believe that she's a monster. He is her stepdad and really the last piece of his wife. She needs help. Really sad. Yeah, absolutely. Like Carly, I think she is troubled for whatever reason, even if the psych evaluation is wrong, even if she wasn't struggling with like the mental illness that they said she was. Like I think she's still troubled. I think what she did, like she needs help. She's struggling with something. There's something there. This is not what a normal person would do, right? Okay, so then Dr. Jason Pickett, a forensic psychiatrist, testified during the trial, evaluating Carly's mental state. So we had several experts, right? Like we have experts from the defense side and then experts from the prosecution side. So he was evaluating Carly's mental state using the this like a legal standard for determining insanity. It's called the Emnatin rule. I'm not sure how to pronounce it, but yeah. So he is using this like legal standard to determine insanity. And Dr. Pickett concluded that Carly did not meet Mississippi's standard for insanity. He argued that Carly knew the nature of and wrongfulness of her actions when she pulled that trigger. But Carly's defense team, particularly, Dr. Clark, they disagreed. Dr. Clark suggested that Carly's blank memory of the shooting, because she didn't really remember, like she disassociated. So he was saying like her dissociative state at the time could be linked to her mental health struggles. Like she claims she didn't remember, she didn't do it, she didn't, she knows nothing. Carly herself broke down multiple times during the trial, weeping as the guilty verdict and the sentence were read. Still, to many in the courtroom, she didn't show as much remorse as they expected, because there are some recordings. This is like one of those recordings. There are some recordings where Carly is seen like giggling, pretty much smiling, giggling to her attorneys, just kind of like looking at her stepfather, also like smiling, and just smiling at some evidence that's like coming out, and she just like kind of smirks or smiles, and like something like that, right? Like there's those moments. There are other moments like she's trying to like cover her mouth, but she's smiling. And then there's moments where she's like kind of looking coldly at witnesses, particularly like her stepfather. She kind of looks at him. There are other clips where she's like literally crying and breaking down, and yeah, like she's also like looking at her stepfather and crying. So there's that. There's like a lot of mood swings, a lot of emotions there. But as much as Heath defended Carly, the legal team or legal system had a different view. Carly had turned down a plea deal before the trial, one that could have seen her serve just 40 years in prison. And instead, she is facing the rest of her life behind bars. The jury, consisting of 12 individuals, 1 black woman, 1 black man, 7 white women, and 3 white men, needed only 2 hours to reach their verdict. And Carly was found guilty on all counts. Carly was sentenced to life in prison for the murder of her mother, with an additional 10 years for tampering with evidence, though these sentences would run concurrently. She has a chance to appeal, but for now, Carly will be serving a life sentence with possibility of parole. She's just 15, but her life as she knew it is effectively over. If you have thoughts on this case, I would love to hear it in the chat or in the comments. Me personally, I'm not sure about this life sentence. I know that she turned down the plea deal, but I have to say, I am surprised. 15-year-old and got a life sentence, yeah, with possibility of parole. But I'm not gonna lie, like I was surprised that they went for life sentence immediately. Yeah, life for a 15-year-old. I was pretty surprised. I don't know if I agree with it, because of many reasons. Like, I think there was something to the mental state. Like, she wasn't stable. She couldn't have been stable if she chose to kill someone. And there was the case of like her antidepressants that she was prescribed, and other, like the vapes, the marijuana, like there was something going on there. I'm not sure. Like I'm absolutely, I agree that she's guilty of the murder. I just don't know if this wasn't like too harsh of a sentence, because there are circumstances. But then again, it's only the beginning of this case. I'm sure there's not that much information. I got as much as I could, but I'm pretty sure, like with the appeals, when they appeal and the case goes back to the court, because the investigation is not over, and the case is not over, I'm pretty sure there's gonna be like more facts, more evidence coming out. So maybe I will change my mind, you know, like there's just so many factors that could change this case. I'm curious about her mental problems though. Yeah, like those were never clarified, like like fully clarified. I'm pretty sure they have it in their documents, like all of them were like clarified in the documents, but it wasn't just like, it wasn't really said in the trial very clearly. So you guys are welcome to obviously like check out the trial, those videos, and you know, like look it up and see for yourself. But yeah, I'm sure that there's gonna be more to this case. Like this is not over. This is just the first stage. Again, there's gonna be an appeal, and we'll see how it you know, how the case goes from where the case goes from here. It is possible that the state may revisit this case in the future and reverse the charges. Yeah, like I think it's often a case in those situations, like those cases where the first sentence is like super harsh. You know, like, oh, there were cases where it was like a death penalty, and then it was overturned. It was like, oh, after an appeal, it was actually like lowered to, like, the sentence was lowered. So I don't know. I think this was like, it's not like the evidence isn't clear. Like not all of the evidence is clear, and I think more of it is gonna come out in you know, the upcoming weeks, months, whenever the appeal is filed. I think there's gonna be more that's, you know, like definitely more things investigated, and we will find out what the actual sentence is. I think that she definitely does need to be cannot be outside. Like I think she does deserve obviously some form of punishment. I'm not sure about the life sentence. I just don't know. Like the case was just, it didn't have as much information as I wished it would. So I think there needs to be some more clarification, some more evidence for a better judgment. But yeah, like very confusing case. And life sentence, I just don't know, with the evidence that was presented, I'm like, wow, my first thought was like, wow, this is like, for the amount of evidence that was shown in court, this is like pretty like harsh sentence for a 14-year-old. Like I get it. Like I do say that, oh, if there's evidence like video, like without reasonable doubt, like beyond reasonable doubt, proven that this person did it in cold blood, then obviously like, oh, harsh sentence is needed. But I'm not sure about the cold blood here. Like I'm really not sure, because like there's evidence, there's video of her doing it, right? Like, oh, she went there and she shot her. So yeah, there's absolutely, like, she's absolutely guilty of that. But the cold blood part, I'm not 100% sure. Like there's more to this case. I am curious to know the duration of the jury's deliberation process. I think there's like a few hours. From what I saw, 2 hours. 2 hours, and then they reached the verdict. So yeah, like deliberation, yeah, like I'm sorry, absolutely. Like I'm curious to know what their deliberation process was. Like what was the reason that they chose like life sentence. Don't do the crime if you do not want to do the time. Absolutely, yes, I agree. I absolutely agree. I'm just saying like, oh, I feel like there's gonna be more there that they didn't cover in the first trial, and there's gonna be an appeal, and I'm pretty sure you know, well, either the sentence either is gonna change to something a little lighter for her, or it's gonna stay the same. And honestly, like, yeah, if it stays the same because they cover more evidence and they determine that, yeah, this was the right choice, you know, based on this new evidence, like, oh, this is the right choice, then yeah, I don't disagree, you know, like, absolutely, by all means, like, she does, like, whether it's a shorter sentence or not, she still deserves to serve time because she did what she did. But I think she also needs help with her mental health, because something isn't right. Okay, and moral of the story is, don't commit crime. That's it. Don't commit crime, kids. Just be good, you know, be good. And don't do this, because you might end up in prison. And I don't want that. I want you guys to be, you know, law-abiding citizens, live your life, you know, just live your life peacefully, enjoy life, and don't get involved with shady business. That's it. Shady crimes. Play stupid games, win stupid prizes. Yeah, and yeah, like a lot of those cases, it's exactly that. Like, and then they cry, and it's just like, yeah, but you kind of did it, so, well, you did it. So what did you expect? Did you expect that, oh, we're gonna get away, like, without any punishment because you're 14? I mean, this, yeah, like, even if I think that, okay, life sentence is a little harsh, based on evidence that was presented, I still think, like, yeah, you still deserve a punishment. You still deserve to serve time because you did what you did. Okay. As always, myself and the chat appreciate the significant effort you dedicate to each case. Thank you so much, you guys. I hope you found the video interesting and the case also interesting. Keep your eyes open for any updates about this case. I'm sure there will be some updates in the upcoming weeks. What else? That's it. You know, internet is on fire. I'll be sure to report on any updates that come out when, or if, unless the internet like bursts into hellfire and flames from the fiery pits of hell because, you know, I don't know, like VTubers are getting their channels deleted, including like Iron Mouse. Her channel was deleted from YouTube for no reason whatsoever. I don't understand. I hope that YouTube is going to sort it out. I do see every day that some VTubers are banned on this or other platforms, and I'm like, when is it my turn? Is my turn coming? Is this the apocalypse? Are we nearing the end? Is this my last stream? If it is, we had a good ride. You know, it's been good, you guys. I will cherish every single moment that I spent on this channel, and I hope you guys will too. Okay, from YouTube, goddamn, yeah, like Iron Mouse's main channel was deleted, was terminated for some reason. Like first her VODs channel, that's one, because someone filed a copyright strike and three copyright strikes, and Iron Mouse didn't want to share her because they were trying, this person, whoever did this, they were trying to get Iron Mouse to share her personal information because she has to. Like if she's gonna dispute the strikes, she has to share her legal name, her legal address, her whatever phone number, I think. So obviously she didn't want to do that, so she opted not to do that for her VODs channel. But then I don't know what happened, but then as a consequence, also her main channel was terminated. Crazy. Insane. Like, YouTube, what are you doing? What's happening? What's happening? Don't do that. Also, guys, just don't do that. Don't file fake copyright strikes because you can take away someone's. I mean, I know you guys are responsible. You guys here in the chat, my community is good. So don't do shit like that. Because, yeah, like someone's gonna... you know, that's I have to say, like, YouTube's copyright strike system is just, the strike system is just so flawed, so incredibly bad. Like, why? Like, you're forcing creators who, many of them don't show their faces, many of them, like me, right? Like I'm a VTuber. I wanna keep my life, my face, my name private, and yeah, unfortunately some people abuse it, and some people do it to find out their, you know, like certain YouTubers' address or phone number or something. So it's twisted. It's twisted. Yeah, definitely don't target any channel if it's not true. If it's not your channel, not your business. If it's literally not your, you know, like the channel doesn't use your material, like copyrighted, I don't know, like it's not your business. It's just not. Yeah, I do hope that Iron Mouse is gonna get her channel back, and her legal team is working on that. So I hope she's gonna get it back. Okay. YouTube is chaotic with all this. Yeah, their system is just so broken. Like I have to say they really have to change that. They really have to like clean it up, because that's not it. That's not it. Anyone can file a copyright strike, and it's yeah, it's pretty messy. You know, it's pretty messy. It's like it's too accessible to everyone. Okay, that's it. That's it for today. I will be taking tomorrow off, and maybe, well, today and tomorrow off, I guess. Yeah, I'll be taking like 2 days off to recuperate from this. I just saw someone followed that whose name is Toka Boka and Avatar World and Roblox and Gacha. That is a very interesting username. But welcome. Thank you so much for following. Thank you for subscribing. Great username. But yeah, I'm gonna be taking some days off just to, you know, just to rest a little bit take a break from researching, and then I'll go back to researching how internet is on fire and how A-list celebrities are about to all go to prison. Joshua, thank you so much. I jaywalk once to the slammer with me. Oh my god, do not jaywalk. Do you want to end up like Jay Walker from like 1800s? The poor newspaper boy who was, you know, run over by carriages because he was irresponsible and jaywalked, and that's how jaywalking came to be. True story. Look it up. No, that's not. This story is not. This story is fabricated. I made it up. But what a story would that be? Okay. Oh my, all celebrities? Pretty much. I don't know, like all the important ones, the big ones. Apparently like Beyonce and Jay-Z are also, you know, involved somewhere, like squeezed in somewhere there in that into that case. So we'll see where that goes. Okay, you guys, thank you so much for today. I hope you found the video interesting, and if you couldn't make it to the live stream, you can rewatch this video. It's gonna stay on my channel. So that's it for today. Thank you. Please remember to like this video if you like my content, subscribe to the channel, and turn on those notifications to be notified whenever I show up in my little dark corner of the internet. And if you want to get some bonus content, access to bonus streams, and other benefits, you can check out my Patreon page. But please remember, that is paid content. So if you're not able to support me in that way, please don't worry about it. Do not join Patreon if you're not able to afford it. There will always be some free streams, free content here on YouTube. So enjoy my streams for free. Okay. That is it. Thank you so much. By the way, like, we did cover another case, unsolved case on Patreon this week. It was the case of Joe Pickler, an actor, a child actor. You may know him. You may know him from the Beethoven series, the Beethoven movies. Yeah, about the Saint Bernard dog. That was like from 90s. He was in quite a few movies. He was in a movie with like Robert De Niro, Wesley Snipes. So you guys can check it out if you're curious, because Joe Pickler disappeared, and he's to this day 17 years. It's been 17 years and he was never found. So that's another case that I covered on Patreon. Okay, that's it. Thank you so much for today, guys. Stay safe out there. Stay tuna. Always lock your doors and windows. Bury your hexes. Until the next time. Bye. Thank you so much for the super later, Sona. See you on the next stream. And I can share with you guys another fun fact, because why not? Do you know how birds have, like, well, especially ducks, they have the ability to let half of their brain asleep while the other half is awake. So they are on guard, and this is like 24/7. And this is called unihemispheric. Yeah, they're like half of their brain is asleep and half is awake, so they can just like look out for That's it. Birds are weird. I'll see you guys next time. Bye.